And here we go. First batch. Plot the given point in a rectangular coordinate system. Rectangular coordinate system is just a coordinate plane. They just call it rectangular coordinate system. We've already done this. 1, 4, 7, and 10 were the DOM. I just want to see if you could do it. Looks like most of you could. Okay. Does anybody look up there? Is there another point that anybody wants to see? Plotted graph. There's anything up there somebody wants to see graph? Alright, then I'll trust you can do that. Next, graph each equation in exercises 13 through 28. Now, they give you 7 points, -3 to +3 that you're supposed to graph. That's all you have to graph, just those individual points. So I'll do one of them for you right now, and then I'll do any other ones you want to see. Let's see, which one looks harder? Let's do 25. Do I have any? This is going to be in my recorded lesson later. So, graphing. We're going to use the same technique today that we're going to use all year. No matter, we're going to be graphing a lot this year. And one thing you can use from now till the end of the year is the XY chart method. So, I like to always start by doing an XY chart so I can see the exact coordinates I need to plot. The direction said we need to do -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So those are the points I'm going to plug in. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. Some of this may seem easy to some of you, but the faster you answer the questions I ask, the faster this lesson can go. So, if I plug -3 into this equation for x, what's that going to give me for y? That's right, 9. -3 squared is +9, so that'll give me a 0. If I plug in +2, what will that give me? 5. If I plug in a -1, 8. If I plug in a 0, 9. +1, +2, and +3, 0. Very good. Once you've got your points, just graph it. Now, I'll warn you, I'm not an artist. I'm a sketcher. And all I ask that you are is sketchers too. I'm not going to get out a ruler and measure all these points. If they look somewhat close, I'm going to give you credit for them. So, well, that's really bad. Whatever, who cares? -3, 0. -2, +5. -1, +8. 0, 9. 1, 8. 2, 5. 3, 0. You do not have to connect the dots, but you should notice it kind of forms an N, lowercase n. And so that's what you need to do. You do not have to make an XY chart today. I think it's easier. You do not have to. All I want to see are the plotted points. Those 7 points. Raise your hand if you'd like me to reiterate where we got these coordinates, how we plugged them in, anything like that. Somebody has a question on it. Okay. All right. Look at this list of problems. Which of these looks like something that you'd like to see? If you're not familiar with that algebraic function, anything like that. What problem up there looks like something you'd want to see? Number 1, 21. Yeah, one wouldn't make any sense, would it? 21. So we're going to start the same way. XY chart. Still going from -3 to +3. And we just plug in. Absolute value of -3 is what? 3. So that's going to be 6. That'll be 2 times +2. 2 times +1. 2. That's right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this. You plug in these values in for the x, and you should get these y values. Before I go any further, is there one of those that maybe I misdid, or you think it should be something else, or you have a question on? All right, we're ready to plot them. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 3, 6. Negative 2, 4. Negative 1, 2, 0, 0. 1, 2. 2, 4, 3, 6. Should notice it forms a V shape. That's going to be something we're going to study a little later. Any questions about where anything on the screen came from? Or if you'd just like for me to re-say something, maybe you didn't hear it. No? Okay, again, I need the graph. You do not have to make the XY chart if you do not wish. Any other problem here somebody would like to see? Who can tell me what negative 2 cubed is? Negative 8. That's right. Remember, when you cube a negative, it'll stay negative, and then you just cube the number. So I know I don't have calculators available for you all today. I should have them by tomorrow for you to be able to use on your homework. Which, let me say real quick, I know I said calculators weren't going to be available. I'm going to provide to you on the test and everything calculators for you to punch numbers into, for calculation. We just aren't going to use graphing calculators on any tests until chapter, I think, 5, I think. So you will have calculators available to punch numbers into, just not with graphing capabilities. So, yeah, like negative 3 cubed, that would be negative, negative, negative. 3 times 3 times 3, 27. We are going to have some cubes in our homework. Any questions? All right, marching on. Now, here, if we were using our calculator, you could put in multiple functions at a time into your calculator. So what they're showing you here is, here are 2 different functions. They plotted the same x values, but they gave you different answers because they were different equations. Well, 33 is asking, which of these equations applies to the second list of answers? Which of these equations applies to the second list of answers? I'll give you a second to look that over. Raise your hand when you think you've got it. Go back. James. James, which one is it? You're correct. You are correct. If you plug these x values into C, you're going to get these y values. Some people pointed out last block that, certain values work with every function, but they have to all work for it to be that equation. So you're correct. It is C. Are there any questions about why it's C and not a different one? Okay. 35. Does the graph pass through the origin? The graph of y2. What is the origin? 0, 0. Does y2 go through 0, 0? No. What about y1? Yes, it does. Not that it asks that, but I just want to see. All right. At what point does y2 cross the x-axis? Cross the x-axis. What's something we know when a graph crosses the x-axis? What's one thing we know is going to be in that coordinate? 0 for what? The y. Right. So, that being said, where does y2 cross the x-axis? At 2. At x equals 2. At 2, the y value is 0, and therefore crosses that axis. So the actual answer for 37 that you would need to write is x equals 2. At what point do the 2 graphs intersect? I heard a yawn answer. I didn't hear a... Negative 2, 4. I think that's what I heard. And what else? Very good. 1, 1. At negative 2, they have the same y value, so negative 2, 4. And at 1, they have the same y value, so 1, 1. That's where those graphs are going to cross, because their points are the same. Good. Please do not hesitate to ask if there's something up here that you'd like to explain a little more. I know we kind of sprinted through it. Anything up here somebody'd like to Okay. All right, time for me to pick people at random. Austin, can you tell me on 41 where does this thing have an x-intercept? Very good. 2 zeros where it crosses the x-axis, x-intercept. Very good. Spencer, can you tell me what the y-intercept is for 41? 0 or negative 4. Yeah, 0, negative 4. I do all the time. Okay, Tyler, 43. Can you tell me about any x-intercepts?
Maybe -3, 0.
It would. Is there another one? I understand why, it's because it doesn't cross. But if it touches, that still counts. So,
1, 0.
very good. Negative 2, 0, and 1, 0 are where it intercepts the x-axis. Very good. But the y-intercept, Maggie. Very good. 0, 2, crosses the y. 45. Allie, what's the x-intercept? Negative 1, 0. Yeah, I know. I do that too. Negative 1, 0. And what about y-intercept? Yeah, it doesn't have one. It doesn't cross it. Some of them won't. Negative 1, 0 is the x, and there is no y. So this is just kind of some graphing review. Any questions about anything we've done? Today was a quick lesson. That's really all I got for you. This is what I need from you. You can turn it in before you go. Most people in last block finish before they win. They didn't have homework.